Dear friends, good morning. Today we will discuss about the fiscal year and the fiscal year variant in a very detailed manner and how this particular variant is being used in the SAP system. Not just that, we will also see a demo of these fiscal year variants available in the ECC system, as well as we will see it how it looks like in S4 HANA 2022 version as well. In ECC we are using ECC 6.0 IDES EHP 7 version. So these two versions we will see the demo and other related things as well, and we will try to understand all the intricacies of this particular fiscal year variant in the SAP system. Before I move further, I request all the viewers of this video to please like this video, subscribe my YouTube channel and share it in your circle. In case you have any queries, put up your comments, that will definitely get responded. And remember one thing, many a times you might get this particular topic as an interview question as well. So keeping all these things in mind, I just request one point from the viewers is please watch it till the end to understand everything in detail, and it will also help you not just in doing your configuration but also during your interview process. Let's proceed further. So as you can see in the picture, April 1st to March 31st fiscal year and the world map of SAP. I mean, actually it is a globe, but world map is there because SAP is one ERP which is being used across the globe. There is hardly any country left where SAP is not used in one way or the other. So before I move further, let us first understand what is a fiscal year, what is a financial year, what is an accounting year or accounting period. There are a lot of terminologies which are interconnected with each other. We will go into all of these one by one in detail. Let's proceed further. So SAP fiscal year, then fiscal year variant. Some of the pictures purposely I have added up just for the reference purpose. Rest anyway we will see in the SAP system, a live system as well, once we reach to the correct slide in this presentation. So let's proceed further. So what are the important terminologies we have which is used with regard to fiscal year or financial year, fiscal year variant or financial year variant and the related things. First, let us understand what is a fiscal year or financial year. In reality, these two things are exactly one and same. People use it interchangeably, and you can also use it. Fiscal year and financial year both are actually one and same. So what is the financial year, by the way? What is the significance of financial year and what actually it takes to be considered as a financial year? Usually for any company, when they do their day-to-day business and when they operate their business activities in a given country, they are required to produce certain reports and certain statements like profit and loss account, balance sheet, and lot of other things period wise and year wise. It is mandated by the law and it is mandated by the statutory bodies of the given country in which this business is being operated. So in order to record the business transactions and generate the financial statements out of it for a certain given period, usually an year, is what is called as a financial year. I hope the concept of financial year is clear to you over here. So basically it is an accounting period, you can say financial year or fiscal year. Put together all of these basically gives you a starting point and the end point of the year during which all the business transactions will get recorded and it will be reported to the respective authorities as per the law and as per the rules and regulations being followed in that given country, also as per the accounting principles as well. So it is not just one or two items, it is basically a bundle of too many items sitting together as a single unit. Now coming to the next point, calendar year. I am sure everybody knows what is a calendar. You can see it on your mobile, you can see it in your house, you can see it everywhere. It is present into different forms, but it is available digitally, hard copy, soft copy, and all kind of copies we have. But what is a calendar year? Calendar year, as its name suggests, it will start always in the month of January and it will always end in the month of December. So January to December usually becomes your calendar year, and this is how it gets followed as well. So for example, for the year 2024, so from 1st of January 2024 till 31st of December 2024 will be considered as calendar year. Any year other than this date will not be considered as a calendar year because calendar year variety is only one across the globe. Only one from January 1st to December 31st for a given year. Now coming to the non-calendar year. What is non-calendar? Here non-calendar means any year or any pattern of the year which is not equal to a calendar year. Then that kind of setup will be considered as non-calendar year. For example, in India, in order to report the business transactions, financial transactions of a company, even to file an ITR, which you call it as income tax return, the same pattern is being followed. It is always starting on 1st of April of a given financial year, given calendar year, and it ends in the next calendar year on 31st of March. So April 1st from the current calendar year to March 31st next calendar year. This entire makes the month duration of 12 months period, and this is one of the example of non-calendar year. There are many companies across the globe which do not follow their financial transaction reporting as per the calendar year. But calendar year is usually followed in your European Union side and USA side. These are the places where mostly they use calendar year. And there are countries like India and couple of others where it is being followed as non-calendar year currently. I hope the concept of non-calendar year is clear to you. Now coming to the year independent and year dependent fiscal year. What is meaning of year independent and what is the meaning of year dependent fiscal year? Let us understand. Year independent simply means the starting point and the end point of a fiscal year, and not just fiscal year but also there will be periods under the fiscal year. 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 12 periods we will have in general. The starting point and the end point of those periods are also consistent across years, then that kind of setting for a financial year or fiscal year is called as year independent, because year on year it is not going to change. It is not going to change. It will remain same no matter how many years they are in. And year dependent means the starting point of the year and the end point of the year, it will not be exactly one and same. Apart from that, the period wise also, the starting point of a given posting period and the end point of a given posting period, this also will not be consistent across years. Year on year it will keep on changing. So this year dependent kind of things are used, what I have seen so far, mostly in the USA side. These are the people where the reporting is being set up in such a way that this period duration keeps on changing. It is not consistent across the years, and that is why it is called as dependent fiscal year. In case of dependent fiscal year, please remember that every time, rather I will say every year end, you will have to create a new fiscal year variant and you will have to assign it and move these changes to all the way from the development to the quality, testing, UAT, and move it to the production all the way till there. The timing, other things you can take up, decide accordingly when you have to do it. But this will be a exercise which you will have to do annually. You do not have a choice for it. Now coming to the shortened fiscal year. What is the meaning of shortened fiscal year? Shortened fiscal year simply means any fiscal year which does not complete all the 12 periods of a financial year. It will be always lesser than that. That is why name is short. Short means small. So any fiscal year which will have usually less than 12 posting periods, it can be 11, it can be 1, it can be 3, it can be 5. It really doesn't matter. It should be less than 12. That is the condition to be considered a particular year as a shortened fiscal year. And remember, this also will be like year dependent one. It will not be year independent one, because only 1 year you will have shortened fiscal year. Next year onwards it will vacant either calendar year or non-calendar year, as the case may be. Shortened fiscal year you will not run in the system for 10 consecutive years. It is not possible. I hope I am very clear at this point. Then we have something called as year shift, period, normal and special. So year shift we will see it in the system, and that time only I will explain what the year shift is all about. Year shift has only 3 indicators. 0, +1 and -1. And how that works, that I will explain while giving the demo in the system. So I am parking this question at this point of time. Coming to the period wise, we have two type of periods given in the SAP system: normal and special. Normal means month on month period what we have: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I am talking about calendar year. Then this is called as your 12 normal posting periods. But any company during the year end will not be in a position to generate their entire financial statements at that point of time then and there. So they have to do lot of calculations, and then they also need to do lot of adjustment entries also, even when the year is already closed. So a facility is given by the SAP system by way of giving special posting periods, which you can use even though you are in the new financial year or new calendar year. You can still post some additional entries to the previous financial year or previous calendar year, as the case may be. So giving this facility is what is called as special posting periods in the SAP system, and maximum up to 4 special posting periods you can have. Anything between 1 to 4 you can have. If you don't want, you can leave it as well, but then that is the client decision how they want to use this particular functionality given by the SAP system. Let's move further. So I have explained a lot of things in the previous slide, but let's go through all these things and let's understand. Remember, this fiscal year variant impacts all the transactions in the SAP system. There is no business transaction in the SAP system which will not have a direct or indirect impact of the fiscal year, because all the transactions wherever accounting is involved will go in the reporting, and if it goes into the reporting, then fiscal year variant has to play its role. Okay, let's go through. So fiscal year variant contains the number of posting periods in a fiscal year and the number of special periods. To the max, up to 16 posting periods in a fiscal year you can have, and the same goes to the controlling area side as well. Remember, this fiscal year variant is not used just in the company code, it is used in the controlling area side as well. That means it goes into FI side also, and it goes to the CO side as well. Now, fiscal year variant need to be specified for each company code and controlling area in the SAP FICO. Next, the fiscal year variant of the company code and controlling area can differ only in the number of special posting periods used. Keep in mind that fiscal year variant must match between company code and controlling area. If it does not match, then suppose a business scenario is given to you. Okay, now I have a controlling area and one company code I have, and both are having the same fiscal year variant available in the system. Now tomorrow I want to set up a new company code further, but with a different fiscal year variant, and interviewer might ask you, can I assign this particular company code to the controlling area which has a different fiscal year? The answer is no, you cannot do that. You just can't do that, because as per the rules, your fiscal year variant between company code and controlling area must be one and same. if you are to use different fiscal year, that also means you will have to set up a new different controlling area to take care of this requirement. In the same controlling area which was used earlier, you will not be able to do that. So that is the point. Now, fiscal year variant is notified by two characters. It can be alpha, it can be numeric, it can be alphanumeric, but in the standard system what I have seen, mostly it is alphanumeric. For example, K4, P3 and others. Anyway, we will see it in the demo. And this fiscal year variant basically, or fiscal year, actually helps in maintaining the accounting period of the company, and it also goes into the reporting. If you don't have a period, then how you will open and close the posting period? We have one of the month end activity, and it is also part of the year end activity. We always open a period and then we close the period. Why do we do that? It all goes via fiscal year only. Okay, let's move further. Let us understand some of the technical things with regard to the fiscal year variant. So what is the T code for setting up this fiscal year? It is OB29. Then in which table you will find the fiscal year details? The table is T009. This table will give you the details of the fiscal year variant. Then nomenclature which is being followed is 2 characters alphanumeric. Then what is the field name of fiscal year? The field name of fiscal year is PERIV. And in the real time, please remember that the proper nomenclature is usually followed. Though SAP has given, but some companies, while doing the implementation, if they want to follow their own particular nomenclature with regard to the naming convention of the fiscal year, they are free to do that. There is no issue from that perspective. Okay, let's move further. So, where all this fiscal year variant is getting used in the SAP system? So fiscal year variant is used in the FI side with regard to the company code. Here you assign it, and this also goes in your controlling area CO side. There also you have to assign it. Then fiscal year variant also helps you to book all your business transactions, or register all, or record your business transactions period wise. We have normal 12 posting periods from January to December or April to March, as the case may be, for calendar year or non-calendar year. We have already seen it earlier. So, and this also helps you to maintain the number of special posting periods. How many you need? You need 1, you need 2, you need 3, you need 4. How many you need? And apart from all these things, this fiscal year variant in the SAP system also helps you to be compliant with the legal formalities, and also helps you to fulfill the statutory requirements. Every country will have its own set of rules and regulations which a company is supposed to follow, and this fiscal year variant helps in maintaining all these things. That means you will have less legal issues with regard to your company transactions. You will be more or less in the compliance. Let's move further. This is very important, this screen, and this screen actually gives you the overall picture of what all the different varieties you can find with regard to the fiscal year variant. Now let's see what all things we have. So we have fiscal year variant. Now two types: calendar and non-calendar. Not same as calendar year, that means this is a non-calendar. Same as calendar, that means this is a calendar year. Now non-calendar year has again two varieties, year dependent and year independent. If it is year independent, if it is an year independent, then fiscal year is different from calendar year. That is why it is non-calendar year. Okay, this is one part of it. That means something like April to March. So it will be, the first point is it is year independent. So it will be like April to March. So fiscal year is different from calendar year. Calendar year, and what is meaning of calendar year? 1st of Jan to 31st of December. It will be different. And second point is same number of days in periods every year. That means number of days in each of the periods will remain same across years, and that is why it is called as year independent. Now coming to the year dependent, fiscal year is different from calendar year. Obviously that is correct, because doesn't matter, because it is non-calendar year. But the difference comes, number of days in period is not same in each of those years. That means year on year the number of days in a period will keep on fluctuating, changing, just like stock market or the exchange rate. Next, number of days in period can be maintained different for different year. That is why I was saying that for year dependent fiscal year you will always have to maintain fiscal year variant every year, and this will be part of your year end activity. You will have to do it year on year, but in case of year independent you have to do it only once. Now coming to the calendar year, we have already discussed financial is same as the calendar year, that is 1st of Jan to 31st of December. Automatically first calendar month Jan is considered as posting period 1. No need to maintain number of days in each of the period. Why you don't need to maintain? Because yours is a calendar year, and calendar year is fixed item across the globe. It is used in the same fashion. So that is why no need to maintain the number of days separately into the each of these periods. But same thing will be exactly opposite when you deal with year dependent fiscal year. Every year it will change. So you will have to maintain it separately. It will be an additional activity at the year end. Let's move further. So this particular screenshot I have taken from the SAP system. I am sure people who are practicing the system also must have seen it. So this is just the details are there. We have already discussed most of the things, but I wanted to capture few important things, so that is why I have kept it here. I will just read it through. So the fiscal year variant is used to define the fiscal year. What is the use? How many posting periods are there in a fiscal year? How many special periods you need? And how the system determines the posting period when the posting. In the definition, you allocate your posting periods to the calendar year. Allocation control requires the same number of posting periods in the company code and in the assigned controlling area. So this is what I was saying. At both places the fiscal year variant has to be same, and if it is different, that means you have to do entire thing differently. This means the number of posting periods in the fiscal year variant must be the same in the company code and in the controlling area. The period limits for two fiscal year variant must also coincide. You must define which fiscal year variant to be used for each company code. To do this, you must define the appropriate fiscal year variant. It must contain no more than 16 periods. In any fiscal year, maximum number of posting periods, you cannot have more than 16. So 12 plus maximum 4 special periods. So max limit is 16. You cannot have 17, 18, 19, 20 kind of thing. Not possible. Note, the company code delivered with the standard system are allocated to the fiscal year variant that corresponds to the calendar year and which also use 4 special periods. You define fiscal year variant as well as the allocation of fiscal year variants to the company code in the financial accounting customizing, and then it says define fiscal year variant proceed and allocation of fiscal year variant to company code proceed. So this particular screenshot gives you lots of valuable information, and please remember this because this will also sometimes help you during your interviews as well. So you must be very crystal clear about these concepts, otherwise people will understand that you have only theoretical knowledge, you do not have any practical knowledge. Let's move further. Now we have come where we will see the demo of these two fiscal year variants in the system. So let's proceed further. First we are going to see it in the S4 HANA system 2022 version. As you can see, this is S4 system. Let me show you so that you believe what I am talking on is actually S4 HANA 2022 version. You look at this. This will tell you. Still, if you have doubts, you can see it here as well. Can you see? All are 2022 release. So this is how the things are. Now let's see this fiscal year variant. What was the T code? OB29. So let's go there. OB29. Now we are in the fiscal year variant screen in S4 HANA 2022 version system. Now all the things what you see are basically these are all your fiscal year variant, but I will mainly talk about two fiscal year variant over here. One is called as K4 and another one is called as V3. K4 is your calendar year with 4 special posting periods. For example, you see this one, right? The name is K, and remember these two are both SAP delivered fiscal year variant in the system. K4 is for calendar year, V3 is specifically meant for the India. Let's see it now in detail of it. If you can see, this is the nomenclature, 2 characters, minimum up to 2 characters. That means 1 character also you can keep it as your fiscal year variant. Then this is a calendar year. See, this is what the tick mark is being given. Okay, this is year dependent, which I have explained. Normal posting periods, special posting periods, and then all other related stuff what we have. Now let us see it in detail period wise. It says period cannot be maintained for calendar dependent financial year variants. That simply means it is a fixed item, you cannot make any modifications. Clear? Doubt? I hope there should not be any unnecessarily doubt on this. If it is a calendar year, you will not be able to make any changes. It is already defined. That means if we have to see it into detail, then we just need to go into the V3 where we can see the difference, and we have to see the year shift also. Remember, in the previous we have discussed that we will see the year shift as well. Now K4 is what we have seen. Now let's go to the V3. It will be down somewhere. Yep. Here is my V3, April to March with 4 special posting periods. And none of these are ticked, and this is how the overall things are. Now let's go to the periods. If you see fiscal year variant 3, number of total posting period 12, special 4, and these are all the various different settings what we have. So it starts from January, right? Jan, Feb, March, April, and that is how the things are. But remember, these are the months, these are not the periods. Period starts from here in this particular column, and this one says the number of days available against each of the months. So, but why it says it is number 10, which is actually January? It should be number 1. The main point here is it is not a calendar year. That is why first month need not to be the first period, which happens in case of a calendar year, but it will not happen in case of a non-calendar year. And this one is specifically meant for India. So while discussing initially, I have already said that the setting which here is, it will not correspond and not correlate between your calendar month with the posting period. It will have differences. So that is why, as it says, it will start from the April month. So April becomes our first period. If you see here, April is our first period with 30 days, and year shift is 0. 0 means it is denoting to the current year. 0 means current year. Minus 1 means next year. Plus 1 means previous year. Plus 1 means previous year. This is how system actually reads. So that is the beauty of the year shift. See, remember, now it is first. Now let me just go down over here. 1, 2, 3, and it will keep on going till 9, because December will be your 9th period with 31 days with the year shift 0. That means it is actually indicating to the current calendar year. Current calendar year, not financial year, current calendar year. As on December 31st, year will change. Which year will change? Calendar year will change, not the financial year. Calendar year will change after 31st December. So till 9 you have counted here. So after December 31st, what will happen? It will come January 1st. But January 1st will come where? Next calendar year, not in the current calendar year. So if it is denoting to the next calendar year, but you want the system to consider this also in the current financial year itself. So calendar year has changed, but financial year has not changed. This happens as on 31st of December. Once it is crossing, it goes to the 1st of January. This situation comes in the picture. So in order for system to understand that, boss, your only calendar year has changed, financial year has not changed, that is why this year shift is given as -1. Suppose we are in the year 2024 and now we have gone to the year 2025 after 31st of December 2024. Then what will happen? Calendar year has already changed. In order to consider this is as a current year, rather I will say current financial year, system need to reduce by -1. So calendar year is what? 25. 25 minus 1, what will become? 24. And what is the financial year? 24 only. And that is why year shift here is minus 1. It can be plus 1 as well, depending on the kind of fiscal year you are using for. I hope so far here it is clear to you. Now if you want to see the period text wise also, you can just click it. It will show you the text wise also. Remember, this is given all in the German language. DE is nothing but the German language, and this is the year wise. Sorry, period wise. April, May, June, and likewise it will go all the way. See, March, and then 13, 14, 15, 16. Why 13, 14, 15, 16? Nothing but your special posting periods. German, and then you have down in the English language also. Look at this. Okay. See, another beauty of the shortened fiscal year, the moment you click it, is financial year variant V3 is not year dependent. Remember, any kind of shortened fiscal year variant will be always year dependent. It will never be year independent. Be very sure about it and look at the information what it is given. Just to read you out for your understanding, I have just shown it to you. Okay, let's go back. So we have seen calendar year, we have seen non-calendar year. Now we will see something called as year dependent thing also. See, this one we have, I think, not sure how many we have. I think there are a couple of them already. So we will see in any one of them is fine for us. Any one of them is good enough for us. We don't need to see everything of it. So let's go down and see if something we have. Live rates. Okay. Take example of this R1 as a shortened fiscal year. See, year dependent is ticked. So let's select this and click on the shortened fiscal year. Remember, you have to maintain the settings year wise. Since this one is not maintained, that is why it is showing up like this. You will have to click on the new entries and maintain this entire setting. So right now I am not going to do that part. What I will do is I will open up this, will click on this, and we'll see if, okay, I think 23, let me see if it is available. Here also it is not maintained. See, basically what you will have to do is you have to click in over new entries and you have to explain how many posting periods you need. You can have 1, you can have 10, you can have 9, you can have 6. Everything is dependent on the business requirement when this will be used. Remember, one more important thing with regard to this shortened fiscal year is mostly in only two scenarios this shortened fiscal year is being used. Either when you are going live on SAP system for the first time, any time between the financial year, not at the end of the financial year. If you are going live at the end of the financial year, then you don't need a shortened fiscal year at all actually for the year in which you are going live. But if you are going somewhere in the mid of the year, anywhere, it can be in the first period, second period, third period, or maybe 2 periods prior to the year comes to an end. In all such cases, you will have to use this shortened fiscal year only for that particular year. And second situation when it will come is when you are going to wind up your company. In that case also you get a deadline by which you have to close your books of accounts and close your business operations. So in that case also you will have to use the shortened fiscal year and plan your closure accordingly. There are a couple of other scenarios also when such kind of things will be used and where shortened fiscal year will be required to play its role for doing some special activities which a normal calendar year cannot do. Now we have seen this entire setup in the S4 system. Now let's have a look in the ECC system as well. Okay, so here we are in the ECC system. How this is ECC system? So let us see it in the ECC system as well. This is database is Oracle. Okay, now if you see over here, all are ECC. There are so many, but this is all in the ECC side only. Though Fiori and other things are also there, but if you check, it is all ECC only. It doesn't have anything that. See, ERP 6.0. Correct. So, and see, look at this one. This is the one. This is the one. EHP 7 6.0 EHP 7. Now let's go to the once again POVI 29. Same T code. T code wise there is no difference between ECC and S4 HANA system. Here also, if you want to see the K4, you can just put it K4. Select this period text. You will be able to see in case of, and this is maintained into various languages. So you can see various languages. Period you will not be able to maintain because that is maintained by the system and you don't need to make any changes. And remember, this is a standard variant, so it will anyway not let you change. Now going back to the V3 which we have to see. So let's go to V3, which is again the standard given by SAP, and here we can see the periods as well. See, all the 12 periods. Then if we want to see the period text, you can see the period text and shortened fiscal year, and as I said, it has to be year dependent, then only it will show you up something like that. Okay, let's go back. Now this is again calendar year, sorry, year dependent is this one, this is year independent. So now we have to see the any kind of year dependent one. See, this is the one, this is the one, and let's see if we have something, any shortened fiscal year kind of thing we have or not. We just need to check it once. Anyway, it has to be year dependent one for sure. If it is not, yeah, this one 1993. So let us select this 1993. See, so this, it says this has a total of how many? 9 posting periods. Here they have written 12, but for this one with AM it says only 9 posting periods. So if you click on this, and you have to maintain it actually. Here it is, see, remember this is a dummy system, that is why all the settings are not maintained properly. In the real system you will not find anything of that type, that is for sure. See, this is here again period text and other things are also not maintained. So if you are maintaining everything, you will have to maintain everything properly. Since it is a dummy system and real system in the training I can't show, so that is why it is not possible from my end basically. Now, and one more thing, you want to see the technical details of it. So let me show you some of the technical details also. So this is what I have shown you earlier. Now if you want to see the technical details, see, this is the field name of the fiscal year variant. Table is T009. Can you see it? This is the table name. This is the technical information which I have already covered in my previous slides. Now let's go back to our presentation. So we have seen the demo in the ECC system also. We have seen also the demo in the 2022 version as well. Here what is important is to remember is we can use the SAP standard provided whatever they have given, and if we want to use the our different kind of nomenclature for the fiscal year variant, all you need to do is to just copy the things. Let me show you quickly in the probably one of the system. I think this one is S4. Uh, no, this is not S4, but let me show you. S4 also has the same thing only. There is no changes as such with regard to the fiscal year variant. So if I come over here, this is nothing but my, this is S4, correct? See, so suppose I want to prepare a new fiscal year variant. So what I will do is, suppose with regard to the V3 or maybe K4 I want to copy. Let me copy V3, non-calendar year. So I will just select this, click on this copy. It will get copied over here. Then instead of V3 you have to give some name. Okay, 2 characters you can give. Suppose I have given G9, enter. It will say copy all. Okay, you have to copy all so that it will copy everything with regard to the V3, whatever is there, it will copy everything. Click here, it says 44 dependent entries got copied. Click enter and your G9 is put up over here. If you want to, anyway it is not a not calendar year, so you cannot use this. Year dependent, if you want, if you can make it, but in case of India it is not needed. So now all we need to do is to save it in a particular TR. See, it says fiscal year variant got saved in this particular transport request, and this is how you will create a fiscal year variant in the S4 system and save it in a TR as well. Now going back to the presentation. So this part now we have done. Now let's move further. Now we are at the conclusion of the fiscal year variant video. So one of the most important variant is the fiscal year variant, and it is created at the client level for financial reporting perspective. You need to report all your business transactions in a given format, and you also need to report it period wise. In order to do all these things, fiscal year variant setup is a must. And remember, since it is defined at the client level, that also means one fiscal year variant can be used for all the company codes set up in that particular given client. Next important point with regard to the conclusion is the country and the accounting practices used in that country and various events happening in the country client head. That does not mean that 800, okay. Company head simply means the enterprise, the company for which you are working. That will decide which kind of fiscal year is being used. So we have discussed what is calendar year, what is non-calendar year, what is shortened fiscal year, what is year dependent, what is year independent, and we have also understood how and what is the relationship between fiscal year variant with regard to the company code and the controlling area. We have seen all these things into pretty much detail along with the system demo. Let's proceed further. Now finally we have come to the end of this particular presentation. If you have any query with regard to the fiscal year variant, you can send your queries to the given email ID over here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Kindly like this video and subscribe my YouTube channel. I will keep bringing in such kind of useful videos with full detailed explanation step by step and with a system demo as well to explain you what it is meant for and how it is being used in the SAP system and whether the particular question or the topic is useful for the interview point of it or not. With that, I bring this entire presentation to an end. Thank you so much. Wish you all a great day ahead. Thank you. Bye bye.